Good evening, and welcome to Late Nights on KBVR Corvallis Channel 26, as you are well aware now. Tonight's guest on the show, Mike Card. Born hard, living hard, he's here tonight to share with you stories and tales of horror and wonder. With that, I give you our host, Joey Bagdriwicz. Glad you're with us.
Hello and good evening, folks out there in TV land. Tonight is a special episode of Late Nights because Mike Card is here, the previous host of Back to the Theater, on again to talk to us about old bad movies that you probably should watch if you like very bad movies, I guess, from like the 60s, 70s, and beyond. Pretty sure we even have a few of those now, right? Yes. So, without further ado, Trey, what's in your hands?
Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to Mike Card.
Thank you, everyone. Please stay seated.
Hi, hello.
Hello, Mike, and welcome back to
The
the Late
KBVR.
Nights set.
Yeah, welcome back to the set for where I'm not running in for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, you're not intruding and saying, I found a very horrible movie we need to watch.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
there are those out there.
Well, we have to take a rest at some point because if we don't, I don't know if I can physically make it through more than one of those.
You
in
but a
week.
time machine?
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm also busy time traveling. So
That too, researching the horrible movies of our shaded pasts.
yes, our long, shaded, terrible pasts. It's weird because like people don't think about how many bad movies. Like there's all these good movies, and then there's just there's three kinds of movies. There's good movies, there's bad movies, and there's forgettable movies. Forgettable movies are like the worst movies, but no, like who cares? Because they're just like they're bad, but not in a.
It's just like
entertaining-
content filler that gets thrown out into the
Yeah.
theaterverse
Exactly. So
or straight to DVD.
it's funny that you asked me to do this though, because you're like, oh, you want to talk about bad movies, and I'm like, Joey, I took film history classes that we don't usually talk about bad movies. We talk about the good movies. So, I don't know where you'd like to begin here, but I know a bad movie when I see one a lot of the time. So.
Well, we can start with basically kind of a concept of bad movies. Like there are bad movies, like you said, that are more or less forgettable, like horrible waste of time bad movies, like no plot, no good acting, or horrible tech. And then there's like the bad movies that like are just kind of low budget, but at least had a decent plot or like could make you think for a bit, like keep your attention. And I guess we can kind of start there because I don't really have too much of a history with bad movies, just, the few lesser ones like for anyone that's seen it, like Hard Rock Zombies was probably the last one I watched.
Have either of you seen History of the World Part 1?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Was it Jews in space? And there's also Hitler on ice.
Yes.
Like when they did Hitler on ice, I was just like, this is finally the moment where like the Nazis definitely lost. When there's just like da 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 da. Like I would have loved Hitler. To see
I
that
think they
back.
lost
I
with
was
the
like, "Nah!"
producers.
What?
The producers?
I haven't seen the producers. Actually.
Oh,
Are you talking about the new one or the old one from Mel Brooks? With
Well,
Gene
Mel Brooks
Wilder.
was a part of the new one too, actually.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the one with Gene Wilder.
I haven't seen the one with Gene Wilder. I did
The
see the
new
new
one.
one. It was hilarious.
The new one would probably fall into the bad movie category.
What?
That's what I've heard.
I
haven't
laughed
seen it,
so
so-
hard. My
But,
stomach hurt.
We gotta stay on track here. Why am I the one saying it? It's not my show.
No, we can get as off track
That's
as we
mine.
want, as long as there's still some relatable subject.
As long as we
to
fill up
that
the space, right, Joey?
movie.
Anyway, okay, so my knowledge of bad movies kind of goes back to Mystery Science Theater. Like Mystery Science Theater, to me, it was, I don't know why the Sci-Fi Channel, well, I know why, partially why Sci-Fi Channel canceled it, mainly because the ratings were kind of eh, but also because they negotiated contracts for like all these movies. Like, they have to have the rights to show all the movies that they showed, even if they're making fun of them. So after a while, it became expensive, and producers being producers were like, we're gonna go put on Stargate for 20 years. So
Hey, I think
we need to make
Stargate's an
some-
awesome show.
I'm not saying Stargate's bad. I'm just saying Mystery Science Theater's better. So shut your mouth. So
If you want to get your fill of
Shut your
horrible
dirty hole
movies
mouth.
with robot commentary.
I thought you were gonna say robot communist. So that sounds kind of crazy.
Oh, there might be a movie. with
Oil
robot
for
communists.
all of us. But then they would have the robot. Then they'd have the robot dictators that would take over. Something like that.
Yeah.
But Trey, you enjoying those carrots over there?
Yeah.
Your Bugs Bunny acting?
What's up, Doc?
Just nom 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 the crunch crunch crunch.
Wow, this would be a great time for the never mind.
Something. Well, okay. On that note, we'll go out to some skits, and we'll see you in a few minutes or seconds, depending on how good your attention span is.
Hey everybody! Hey, welcome to the show. And oh, jeez, oh wow, hold on. No, it's okay. This. You want me to turn it around? Oh, this is awesome. No, it's not horrible. It's great. We can do this. Hold on. Hello. Hi. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Now we got the funny going, because I'm going to be funny out here. And hello, it's great to be here in the funny wagon. It's my favorite place to be when I'm in Wisconsin, because I'm here all the time. I used to grow up here. I grew up here a lot. Anybody here from here? That's great. Yeah, go Wisconsin. I love the place here. The scenery. You got. Whoa, hey, look at that guy. He's rocking, but no thumb, right? Yeah.
That was a joke.
Yeah, okay, so funny time. Okay, so two guys, right, walk into a bar. You think the second guy would have seen it, right? Am I right? Yeah. That's what's funny. But with the two guys, but the dwarf, it right underneath didn't even hit the bar. Yeah, didn't see that coming, did you? The first
see
guy.
this coming, did you?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. It's okay. It's okay. We're good.
It was awful.
No, it's fine. It's good. Here,
Give
you
my
got
bread
some.
back.
Here's the bread. Would you like your bottle back, perhaps?
I'm good.
Okay.
it's funny.
We'll hold on to that then. That's fine. So, yeah.
Way.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And now's the part of the show where we're going to talk about another fairly bad movie, just in production, not so much in plot and storyline, that we have recently found.
I stumbled upon, just through kind of listening to some people talk about it, the movie Zardoz, which I don't really know how to describe Zardoz. It really is basically like Sean Connery with a...
Damn you, Shocktopus!
Really, is that what goes on here, Joey?
What?
Is that what goes on in this show?
That's usually what
the
happens
masturbating
here.
bear comes on at some point,
Well, we don't have a bear, but we do have a Gumby.
Oh, well, why can't Gumby come on? I want to be on the show when Gumby's on.
I don't know. He's currently locked up, I think, due to some traumatizing events on campus.
And nothing's happening off camera right now that's distracting my attention. Yeah,
It's off
Zardoz.
camera that's happening.
Zardoz is, okay, for people that, because there's no way, like, basically just go to YouTube and put Zardoz trailer and that's going to do it right there. If you watch that trailer and you don't care, you're not going to care. But most likely
If you
will.
watch that and you're like, wow, I want to see what this is
It's
about.
floating heads, vomiting guns, Sean Connery.
With a mustache and a thong.
Mustache and a thong, long ponytail with a gun, running around some weird, like, British people in the future, and the whole thing seemed like it was written while the writer's dropping acid. So, and apparently, and I learned this, John Boorman, the director, who the other movies he's directed are escaping me right now. There's a scene where Deliverance. That's right, Deliverance.
Zardoz!
Okay.
Troy almost destroyed very expensive equipment, but that was all worth it, right? Yeah,
Apparently.
he directed Deliverance, which is definitely a movie you should watch for many reasons, but and much better than Zardoz as far as films go. But John Boorman was an extra in that movie, apparently. I don't remember what part, but he gets shot by Sean Connery, and apparently some of the wadding and the blank he shot got like embedded in his head because that stuff comes out. Like I think that's how. What's Bruce Lee's son's name that died? Jason Lee.
I don't know.
Come on, the guy from the Crow. Anybody?
Brandon Lee.
Have you seen that movie, by the way?
No, I haven't.
You would love that movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's better than you think. Seriously, The Crow is actually, it's weird. I mean, like, it's got, like, sort of, like, it's a product of the 90s or the 80s. I think it was the 90s whenever it was made. So it's kind of, like, dated a little bit, but there's something about it that's good. Like, I think he's really good in it, Brandon Lee. But,
I've heard about it. I've never seen it. I know
Yeah.
there were a couple sequels, and I know they're doing a remake pretty shortly.
it won't be good. The sequels to it were
Probably
terrible.
not.
So
Well,
I haven't
I'm
seen
sure
them,
the
but I've
sequels
seen
are
parts of
terrible.
them, and it's like the RoboCop sequels. Like,
Oh,
you know.
yes.
Well, you might care, but Trey, you were, well, a lot of people don't know this, but Trey worked on my show, and we were talking about, before we ended up not doing it anymore, talked about doing a segment called What Can't Trey Watch? And basically there were all these movies during the week that I wouldn't want to watch, and we were just going to have Trey do it and review them for us.
Because I like everything.
We should say what our favorite bad movies are, or what, well, not even the favorite, what the worst movies we've ever seen is. And I want to put the criteria here. It's not like the worst movie ever made, because like, obviously, again, it's like, they're just indifferent. Like, who cares? This is like the movie that tried and just collapsed miserably, and there are two of them for me. The first one is the Wicker Man remake. The first one's really weird, and if you want to see the strangest orgy scene ever in the history of cinema, watch the original Wicker Man.
So is that pre-Nicolas Cage? Then?
Oh yeah, this was like the 70s, man. This had
Oh,
Christopher
okay.
Lee- that had
I've only
Christopher Lee
seen
in
the
it.
one with Nicolas Cage.
No, the original one is weird. There's literally a scene where like this woman's trying to seduce a guy through the wall of the hotel or something, and she's like strips down naked and starts like spanking her. I swear to God, this is in the movie. And you're just going like, all right. And then there's an orgy. It's weird. I swear to God. But that's not the worst movie. The worst movie I've ever seen was the Nicolas Cage one, because and it's kind of hard to explain why. But like I used to think Nicolas Cage was like a good actor. Used to.
He is.
No, he's not.
He's awesome.
He has potential, but he's not. I mean, if you see like Adaptation, which is the one that really convinced me he still is, but he's really good in that. But pretty much everything else he does, he's like insane.
Dude,
So
Port of Call, New Orleans, Bad Lieutenant.
I haven't seen it, but you realize
It's
well,
good.
you and him would get along. He has like a miniature railroad that runs through his mansion. So
And he's got like 5 million houses and he's super in debt.
have you
but
ever seen
that's
the
okay.
picture of him in the Superman costume from like 2000?
No.
He's like fat with like long hair and like out of shape, just wearing it, and he looks like he just like got pulled over for drunk driving and like they took a mugshot. He's
He
just, like-
would.
and I was just like, thank God that movie never got made. It was horrifying. But no, the Wicker Man. Okay, there's three things that happen in the Wicker Man. A, he like basically karate kicks a woman in the face, like spin around, like what's that?
I've seen all the roundhouse kick.
Yeah, roundhouse kick.
I've seen the clips on YouTube.
Yeah, there's the bees, where there's like a field full of bees. And then there's a scene near the end where, for whatever reason, there's a woman in a bear suit. No, he gets in a bear suit as a disguise. And trust me, even within the context of this movie, it doesn't make any sense. And just goes in and starts just sucker punching like women. I don't know why. In the middle, you think like, oh, it has to do with the plot. No, it has nothing to do with the plot. So, I don't know. But I just remember I remember this very vividly. I was sitting in the theater with my parents. I used to like go like back in high school and stuff, or like when I was younger. My parents would always bring me a movie like every week, or we would go see a movie. And we went and saw Wicker Man. And I just remember sitting there, and about halfway through the movie, I could not stop laughing at not one real thing in particular. Just I was just like, this movie is horrible, and I would just sit there kind of, you know. And then at a certain point where like literally they were like, we were gonna have to just leave because you cannot stop laughing at every scene. And like to the point where people were like turning around at me, and I just wanted to be like, you people not realize the crap we were watching right now. Now the second one, which is about a little bit more current than that, and much worse of a movie actually, as far as like being able, because I can't really watch it again. I wouldn't watch it again. Is The Happening. Holy crap, is that a bad movie? Like
Nature.
Oh, man, I used to be like the biggest M. Night Shyamalan apologist. Like my favorite TV show is The Twilight Zone, and my favorite director is Hitchcock, and those are clearly two big influences of him, but of Shyamalan. And I really loved Signs a lot. I actually think that the Sixth Sense isn't very good after you know what happened. Like I watched it
After you know he's
Yeah.
a ghost, it defeats the purpose of watching it
and
ever
now
again.
anybody that no one watches this show. I was gonna say now anybody that would have watched it
Ruined.
has no reason to.
Fun fact, I never saw
I
The Sixth
waited
Sense.
for 10 years
Everyone
to watch
ruined
the
it for me, so I never bothered seeing it.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible. Like you just sit there and go like, God, it's so obvious if you even have an inkling of what's going on here. It's like it's a terrible movie after that. And that Haley Joel Osment kid I've never liked.
Yeah.
But
I liked
um,
Unbreakable.
Yeah, that's no. That's though that Unbreakable Signs, and there's one other. I don't really mind The Village.
The
I think
Village?
there's some pretty brilliant things.
Yeah,
about
it was alright.
People hate that movie for some reason. I think that there. I like some things about it, so I don't know what that says about me. But that reminded me though, another one that I love. I love this movie. Well, I think it's a bad movie. I wouldn't say I watch it all the time, but I do love how awful Batman and Robin can be. Like there.
Oh my
The amount
God.
of puns that
You,
are in
you have
that.
to
The
say the
nipple suit?
60s. It's the one from the 60s.
No, well, I'm talking about.
No,
Batman
that's
and Robin.
Batman the
that
movie.
One, okay, yeah, the Batman. Well, that's like a great movie because like they didn't.
That
even
is a
take
great
that
movie.
Like that
Burt
movie was
Ward.
not done seriously. So that's Batman. Like the original Batman movie from the '60s. If you have not watched it, watch it because it's fantastic. Like,
Adam West and Burt Ward.
Adam West, first of all, I love his approach to Batman. Batman, he was like doing Hamlet as Batman. He was very like, and if we ever get away, I can't do it right
Quick,
now.
Robin.
That shark was pulling
Holy
my
my
leg.
Yeah, and everything. It was like you know in the comics like Batman is like a detective and he's like really smart. But like in the Batman TV show and in the movie, like,
There are
it wasn't even that they were smart. He was
egregious
just
leaps of logic.
yeah, it was just he just figured things out because he's Batman. And you're like, all right, whatever. But after a
And
while,
he's got something for everything.
yeah, like you saw like one of the riddles was like
The
what's
bat shark repellent.
what it was like what was it? It was like what shoots something. I don't know. Like it's like what was a bird and shoots something and then Robin's
Upside
like,
down.
or upside down.
What
and,
kind of a bird shoots upside down?
yeah, like what kind of a bird shoots upside down? And Robin's like a sparrow with a machine gun. And you're like, okay, amongst many other things, I guess. And like, and then of course they're like 100% right. And then there's always a crazy Deus Ex Machina moment where it's like we're falling upside down in this helicopter, and then good thing we landed on that rubber convention. And you're just like, wow, like that
Or
is.
the missile
I
heading,
applaud that.
The missile heading towards them. We're like, it sure was nice of that sea creature to jump in front of the missile for us.
Yes, like the dolphin that jumped in front of it.
And then it's only that, but then like you know, Adam West has to go on some like it was noble for that creature to give its life for the truth and good cause or whatever the hell. And you're just like, what? And I don't know. And then the whole nuclear. I don't know. We could go on and on, but you need to watch it. But Batman and Robin from like what was it like 2000?
The 90s, wasn't it?
Like 99. If it was.
Yeah,
like,
I think it was 99.
But like the puns
Directed by Joel Silver,
Joel Silver, who
the mega producer.
Joel Silver like
Taking
was
the
like you know he wanted
reins.
to do like a Broadway play with Batman, but they couldn't give it to him, so he was like, I'll just make it into a movie. And then it was just like there are just so many things in Batman and
Nipple
Robin.
suit.
Like the
Arnold.
nipple suit. Well, just think about it.
Poison
The first impression of Batman, that entire movie. Just think about this. Someone actually pointed this out to me recently. Picture that you're who was Batman? I'm totally blank.
It was George Clooney,
I don't know
dude.
why I couldn't think of his name. George Clooney. You're like you go into work and they're like, all right, we're gonna do the first scene or whatever. And it's like, all right, start as Batman, pull your pants halfway down. Now we're gonna be pulling them up. And it's just like, what is this? What is going on? Why is this happening? And then like, oh, I don't understand it. Like, and then, well, the best thing
It's
about the
beyond
movie
understanding.
is that the whole movie is written in puns. Like, there's just like,
Oh God, that was terrible.
yeah, it's just
it was
like,
terrible.
was the Iceman like really Schwarzenegger's
Arnold
the one?
Schwarzenegger.
Nice to meet you.
I think he even said
Chill
that.
out.
That may be the one thing he didn't say is "Ice to meet you, Batman."
It's going to be a cold day in hell.
Yeah, yeah, and like said, the Iceman cometh and stuff. You're just like, oh my god, like it'll be a cold day in Gotham, and you're just like, oh no. And like
Oh yes.
you're just, and there's that scene where like he's in there with all like the like his his goons whatever, and they're all singing like the like from the old what were those? Who did those old claymation things? I can't think of the guy's name. One of those old
I can't think
claymation
of
with
it.
like the Heat Miser, and they're all singing, and I'm just like, this is a Batman movie. What's going on? Like,
Santa Claus, I think.
oh, I don't know. Maybe
I
it
don't
was.
know.
The Ice Miser.
No,
Even
no,
the
Heat
first,
Miser.
The Frost
the
Miser.
first two Batmans
the
with
Frost
Tim
Miser.
Burton were like kind of dark, but still kind of campy, and then
Yeah.
Batman and Robin just took it to a whole nother
Well,
level.
Batman Forever, like there are people that like Batman Forever, but I'm just like, that movie's stupid. Like if you like Jim Carrey, he's kind of funny, but like first of all, Val Kilmer's a terrible Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Val Kilmer went from being like a really great actor. Like if you ever seen the movie Tombstone,
Yes.
unbelievable. Like
He's
like,
really good in Kiss Kiss
he's
Bang
like-
Bang too.
He is like Johnny Depp in Tombstone. It's like he's a totally different dude, but like at the same time, like he pulls off like this charisma thing. And then he did like Heat, and then from there,
He wasn't Heat. He
like
was good in
everything he
Heat.
did was terrible. What?
Yeah, no, he's definitely got. Dude, Top Gun. Iceman.
Yeah, the Iceman cometh
The Iceman.
in the
come-
air. But
Ride my tail any day. They say that in that
go
movie.
ahead, Trey. I'm just letting you.
Oh. Well,
Sorry.
on this lull here, what we're gonna do
I wouldn't
is.
call it a lull. I would
Yeah,
call
Well,
it
we're
it's
riding
like-
the roller
strong.
coaster
You
just went
kidding me?
down. I gotta go back up.
Yeah, we
But
hit
before,
Val Kilmer. It's
before we
time to
go
rise.
back up, we're gonna take another skip break here while Trey
Skip
eats more
break.
carrots. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Well,
Yeah,
Trey
choke.
munches on that carrot.
Hey folks, I'm Thaddeus, but you can call me Sparky from Shake a Leg Enterprises, and I'm here to introduce to you a revolutionary piece of cutlery.
The Wonder Knife 9000.
That's right, folks. This handcrafted blade can cut through virtually any surface.
It can cut through anything.
Yes, anything, including this slice of bread. Look at this nice clean cut.
Precision cutting.
Yes, precision cutting. You want to eat an apple, but don't want the hassle of biting through the tough skin? With the Wonder Knife 9000, whole apples are a thing of the past.
Sliced apples, the best invention since sliced bread.
But that's not all the Wonder Knife 9000 can do. It can also cut through non-edible surfaces, such as this table. Well, it appears this isn't a regulation-sized table.
Power cutting. Anyone with the strength of a child can use it.
Okay, well, obviously it won't cut through this table.
It can cut through anything.
Right. Well, let's see what else it can cut through. Ah, yes. The Wonder Knife 9000 can easily cut through metal objects like this.
Maybe put some muscle into it.
Okay, I'm cutting as hard as I can. Sorry, this is obviously a defective piece of metal. But that's not the matter, because the Wonder Knife 9000 is so sharp that it can even cut through itself. Okay,
It can even cut through itself.
Okay, it can cut through itself. Okay, this is clearly not sharp enough.
The Wonder Knife 9000, so sharp, even the most unskilled person can use it with ease.
All right, how about I show you how sharp it can be?
The Wonder Knife 9000 sharpness is compared to that of a sponge. Keep away from small children, teens, and adults above the age of 21. Do not use the Wonder Knife 9000 around sunlight, large animals, computers, food, or competing products. Sorry, cash only. COD or checks are not accepted.
Welcome back to Pandora. I'm your Navi's co-host, Mike Card, and this is my...
The great Leonoptrix.
Hello. And welcome back again.
I see you, Jake Sully.
We were just
I see you.
discussing
I have
Sad movies.
I have sex with my
bad
hair.
recent movies, in fact, starting
making-
with
Um,
Epic Movie and those lovely, horrible parodies that have been like.
Yeah, so
cranked
Scary
out
Movie
the
was
past
good.
few years.
The second one was good. The third one was funny. The fourth one, you're like, all right, it's all vomit jokes. And then,
Vomit. And
Can I just point out, by the way, that Scary Movies, like, remember those from back in the day, like, now it's music, 25. and,
Yeah,
like,
now-
they're
now
like
music,
37.
50.
Those
Yeah.
became the
now that's
it's
what I
music.
call
That's
music.
it. So now that's what I call
Or
music.
totally
This is it.
hits 2, and they're now on like. Oh, well, I don't think they
Totally-
made it past 20 before.
Was that
they
like
got-
its competing thing? Like, we can't have people selling singles. We'll have to make another thing that sells bad singles.
Yeah, no, it's
groups
like
them all
totally
together.
Hits. Now that's what I call music, and then they had a whole bunch of other spin-offs into specific genres.
And wasn't there one where it was like kids versions or whatever? where it
Yeah.
was
oh
like-
yeah, and they
yeah.
had like holiday versions too. It was terrible.
It's sad that we remember this because
No, yeah.
who bought that?
What was it? So there were the Scary Movies, then there was Date Movie, which I didn't see, was apparently terrible. Then I saw Epic Movie because a bunch of my friends went to see it, and it seemed like an okay idea at the time. And that was a dark time. I didn't like it. But the movie I love to hate right now, even more than Avatar, because at least Avatar looked good, even though it didn't have a story. Alice in Wonderland,
It had
the
hair
new
sex.
one.
I didn't like it.
I despised it. I was so excited. I'm a huge Alice in Wonderland fan. Read the books. I've seen all the movies that have come out, and I was ready because there's so many good actors and actresses, and Tim Burton's a pretty good director. And I went and saw it, and I was like, yeah. And then as soon as it was over, I was like, I feel violated. They did a terrible job.
That was my first 3D IMAX movie, and I was just like,
I saw Up in
wasted
3D.
this experience.
No, it was bad. It was no good.
It was not a good first time.
And it made so much money. I was appalled. I mean, I guess I went
when
to
you
see
when you
it.
charge like $15 a ticket,
Yeah, for 3D.
pretty clear to see why you'd make so much money.
Dude, Robot Chicken and Family Guy have good pratfalls.
Yeah,
That's about as far
But
as
those
I'm
aren't
willing to
He
go.
was on Family Guy too. They actually.
But
mimicked
Robot
that.
Chicken's funnier because it's like little toys with
Well,
pratfalls.
exactly.
That's
Like,
always
people
funny.
can't do it nowadays, or it sucks, or they just do it wrong.
But my problem with Family Guy, by the way, and we're just complaining about everything. The thing that I don't like about Family Guy right now is that it used to be like the best show on TV as far as comedy goes, and then they were like, "Hey, we're running out of ideas. We better just start putting the same 4 characters on every episode." That old
That's true.
pedophile guy, isn't he still funny? No, he's not still funny. Like, 5 years ago that was kind of still funny, but now it's just like, oh, really? Like they ruined the Star Wars thing with making him like Obi-Wan to me. Like it was still funny, but that I hated that he was Obi-Wan.
I know. I like the second one the best. Something Dark Side, and then the third one, and then the first one.
Well, the funniest thing in all of them is the one where they're carrying the couch out of the trash compactor, and it's like, all right, there's a right way and a wrong way to do this, and it's just like everybody does that when they're moving. So
I liked Yoda because that's the guy that voices Archer. H. John Benjamin.
Yeah, that guy is
the
great.
clerk. Yeah,
that guy. I've never seen him though, and I almost don't want to because I just want him to be Archer in my head. There's some. If you were
he
looking for
actually
something
looks
good,
kind of like
Archer.
the Yoda guy, like
Don't
the
even
actual
watch,
dude.
You know what? Tell you right now. Stop watching this show and go watch Archer.
Well, Archer is on before this show, so they should
Well,
have
but they're
already
not caught
watched
up.
it.
So
They
I'm
probably have
telling you.
reruns afterwards. So,
Well, that's a good show.
yay, Archer.
Back to the topic of nothing in particular.
I totally forgot what it was. What are we talking
Zombie strippers.
Yeah, no, well, kind of.
That movie was
Technically-
awesome.
We were supposed to,
Zombie
in a
strippers
very
gotta pay their way
roundabout
through
way,
college.
get to my worst movie experience.
Battling the
in world.
Undead.
What? Sorry.
My worst movie experience. I mean, you've had Trey's with Epic Movie, and we've had yours with both.
No, it was definitely Alice in Wonderland. That was the
Oh, that's
worst.
right. You hated Alice in Wonderland because it
More than anything, it destroyed
defiled you.
destroyed my hopes and dreams.
Defiled you in any way. But
God, Johnny Depp let me
mine, I
down.
already mentioned, I just recently watched Hard Rock Zombies because it was like, oh, this is a bad movie with interesting things happening in it. And no, not really. It's just a movie about an 80s rock band that goes to a town full of pedophiles, gets killed, and is brought back to life to sing as zombies. And somewhere in there, they decided, okay, let's throw in Hitler, a midget with an eye patch, and a defiled midget that eats himself throughout the entire movie, and you just see him eating himself because apparently they couldn't think of anything better to put in. Also, any scene that's supposed to be shot at night is too dark to see anything. So you have the whole people running around, but you can't see faces or limbs, just things happening at night.
What's better than the movie Werewolf they did at Mystery Science Theater where like they did an old trick that they used to use back in probably the 30s where you'd shoot it during the day but just filter it blue, except for the fact that back in the day that worked because it was in black and white, whereas if you watch it in anything now, it's just a big blue filter on the screen and it's stupid.
It's funny how finger puppet is okay as a
What do
noun.
Muppets have to do with pedophilia?
I don't know. Just Muppets and touching,
Well, because you have your hand inside of them all the time.
apparently.
It's nothing
Finger
to do with
puppets.
children.
Good noun.
True. Perverted, not
Bad
pedophile.
verb.
How about that? All right, so
We went to a weird place.
a very...
Are there sheep there?
But we go to a weird
New
place every single
Zealanders.
time on this show, so it's nothing new.
47 no's and a yes means yes.
And on that awesome note, so we've given you some food to think about as far as watching
think about.
some
Sorry, go ahead.
food to if you don't want Trey's carrots.
Delicious
Yes,
and
food for thought about bad movies. Go out there, watch a few. Mystery Science Theater, or just Google a list of what you never want to see in your lifetime, you know, in case you have...
A lot of stuff from
Life
Japan. Tokyo Gore
Machine Gun
Police. Yes.
I can't even watch that movie.
I want to. I haven't seen it.
I've seen a
I
trailer and
downloaded
it's
it.
like,
No,
that's
I
too much
didn't.
for me. I'm not saying something.
Bye, folks. We'll see you.
Good luck.